They tore down my garden shed. Just like that. No warning, no apology, just rubble where I used to store my tools and seed trays, now a construction zone for their tacky, oversized above-ground pool. "You'll thank us later," one of the Karen sisters smirked over the fence, her sunglasses perched high on her nose like she ran the whole neighborhood. That eyesore was lowering everyone's property value. I blinked. Thank them? My jaw tightened, and I felt my blood pressure spike right then and there. That shed wasn't just storage, it was mine. Built with my own hands, with reclaimed wood from my grandfather's old barn. That thing had history. And now they were pouring chlorine water over its grave. "You had no right," I shouted, stepping into the shared fence line. Karen too, the taller one with the fake French manicure, crossed her arms and said, "We sent an email." An email? Like that justified bulldozing my property? But it was on my land. I never gave permission. Technically, we thought it crossed the easement. You can talk to the HOA if you're upset. That word again. HOA, the three-letter plague. I exhaled slowly, counting to 10, but I only made it to 6 before I stormed back inside. My wife, Rachel, was already on the phone with the county property assessor, her voice calm but clipped. We'd fought battles with this HOA before. But this time, they'd gone too far. It wasn't until 2 days later that the twist came. Our bulls Cajun and Bullet had gotten loose. The latch on their pasture gate had mysteriously snapped. And wouldn't you know it? They made a beeline straight for the Karen sisters' brand new pool. Rachel screamed from the back porch. "Oh my God, they are in the water." I ran out in my boots, sprinting down the slope like a madman. The sight nearly made me stop in my tracks. There they were. 2,000 pounds of muscle and horn. Splashing around in a sea of plastic flamingos, pool noodles, and shrieking HOA wives in wet maxi dresses. The Karens were losing their minds. Bullet had already flattened a snack table, and Cajun was trying to mount a floaty shaped like a unicorn. One Karen tried swatting at him with a pool net and got bucked into the shallow end for her trouble. Chaos. Screaming. Sunscreen flying through the air. A loud crack. As a leg of the pool deck gave out under Karen 2's lawn chair. I should have felt bad. Really, I should have. But oh. I laughed. For the first time in weeks, I let myself laugh until I cried. All those HOA complaints, those condescending emails, that smug grin when they demolished my shed, it was all crashing down in a frothy, muddy, chlorine-drenched nightmare. And then came the lawsuit threat. "You're liable for this." Karen 1 yelled, soaking wet, mascara bleeding down her face like a cartoon villain. "Excuse me?" I said, raising an eyebrow. "You're the ones who tore down my property without legal notice. You opened the fence for your pool contractor. If the bulls got out, sounds like you left the gate open." Their faces dropped. Because guess what? Rachel had already requested the security footage from our neighbor's ring cam. Clear as day, their contractor pushed open our pasture gate to make more room for his truck. Never closed it. Checkmate. They tried to file a lawsuit. Sent me a cease and desist, even went on the HOA Facebook page claiming I was harboring aggressive livestock and creating a public health hazard. But guess what I did? I sued them first. Trespassing. Destruction of private property. Illegal use of easement. And emotional distress, because get this, I'd been diagnosed with hypertension 2 weeks before they pulled their stunt. It took a few months, but karma came through like a freight train. Court ruled in our favor. The Karens had to pay full restitution for the shed, damages for the pool incident they caused, and oh, sweet justice, they were banned from the HOA board for egregious misuse of power. I got my shed rebuilt. They got slapped with HOA violations for the busted pool, which they had to drain and remove before the next inspection. And the HOA quiet as a graveyard since then. You know, sometimes revenge doesn't need to be plotted. Sometimes, all it takes is a 1,500-pound bull and a unicorn floaty. If you enjoyed that wild ride and want more HOA madness, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You won't believe what happened when they tried to block our driveway next. Spoiler, another lawsuit.